started this meetup a couple of years ago. David and I cover Agile, so Scrum and scaling Agile, pretty much. And this particular meetup is mostly about scaling Agile, for that matter. I think ever since we started, in the beginning, most people don't really care all that much about scaling Agile. I think it's not required, whatever it is. But I think increasingly I see people seeking out for knowledge and skills for scaling Agile. I think the employers around here are requiring that increasingly. So I think the topic is very much needed now.
So I see a difference between, the SAFE acronym, the official scaling Agile, and just scaling Agile in a practical way.
Right.
So,
well, here we are not religious in any way, right? We're not sectorial. Actually, we have speakers from different aspects.
Yeah. When Hank and I started, we were thinking of scalable agility from mid to large scale. And that happened like a Scaled Agile Foundation, or SAFE, was a leader and still is a leader in that area. State of Agility is a report that I got in May, every May in December. And the SAFE is still on a very good upscale. Yeah. Now there are others that I'm going to mention that are based on different environment. There are different settings that are reviewing them. Based on that, we just keep doing what we're doing. That we started a good practice, and getting us together and sharing information is one of the most important part of self-learning, at least, and being retrained. We just kept this alive. UCSC extension got their approval for next 3 years to be PMI's preferred educational center here in Silicon Valley. That's good. Like UC Berkeley, there are few educational institutions that has certification in project and program management. UCSC is one of them. UCSC extension started a mini Agile certificate. That is 4 courses as opposed to 7 courses. Hank is an instructor of Scaled Agile here at UCSC extension. I'm teaching 3 different courses. Schedule optimization, I'm writing the next class of Agile Product Lifecycle Management. About me. I was born in Iran, have been in Canada for about 13, 14 years, a naturalized Canadian citizen, and I'm here academically, electrical engineer. I have my master's in engineering management and leadership. I have learned all these programming languages, and these are just tip of the iceberg. And the only language I've taken class is Fortran. That was years ago. I've been technical solution provider for over 25 years. I've been in consulting business for a long time. I have more than 200 testimonials. I have served more than 400 small and mid-sized and large clients. Well, not that large, as small as Google and eBay. For the past 19 years, I've been doing anything I can help to build successful teams that can make values visible in much less time while having fun. Not that we work hard, no. On the contrary, a live team doesn't need to work hard. Working smarter is much easier and more fun than working harder. And let's do networking. Introduce yourself, you have 30-second elevator pitch. And one more thing, after you introduce yourself, how about you talk about your dream job? If David wants to hire you with $200,000 a year right now, what is your dream job? Talk about it. Okay. What did you hear from the colleague you just talked with?
Bristol isn't building software. Applying team effectiveness, team management to other areas, even though this often is thought of as stuff that applies to software, it's good to remind us that it applies elsewhere.
Elsewhere. Thank you. And that brings me to this last question I had in this slide. Why Lean Agile? Why Lean and why Agile? Yes?
Lean, minimize waste. Agile, be prepared to cope with change.
Thank you. Why these two terms getting together portray a large thing for us?
I think the least part is like the umbrellas, the frameworks, but these frameworks can set more details.
Right. Yeah. Lean is coming from Toyota, right?
That's one.
The Japanese
That's
company.
one of the
Yeah.
One of the early places for that.
Yes. And then adding agility into it. So we're thinking of just ever expanding the agility in a large scale organization. Right. That's the reason. I'm going to have about 7-8 slides that they are the basics of large, complex international projects. Then we dive into Agile and how we can merge them together. The trend in global business is basically if you don't go worldwide, you can't survive. Startups are good in the local area, and if they stay there, they die. So the business trend is pushing all the businesses, regardless of where they are, what's their niche market, what's their product or service. It's how we're transforming the structure and the brand of whatever we're providing. Staying alive is not enough, it's not an option anymore. We need to expand and expand, ever expanding. You see, R&D is not localized in 1 or 2 countries anymore. I have in my class a slide that shows in the past 20 years how other countries have been surpassing United States by many folds. US companies staying alive, they need to relocate their production, research, development, prototyping. They need to expand their marketing reach. They need to start covering different technologies and functions. They need to provide, guess what, low cost. And that's what globalization of talents have been exploding for the past 20, 25, 30 years. Talents are not confined to a specific country anymore. Globalization have taken companies from one geographical place to literally to global position. To stay alive, we need to consider how to access new markets. We need to consider the new human resource and talents. We need to understand the cost of operation, how we can lower the cost while we're producing the strategic size and strengthening product and services. These are the consensus. 2016, we had 87% of companies had to expand or get out of market. Honestly, if they couldn't, they would have bought. How dynamic is the global reach? For instance, a company says there are 7 reasons. The Colorado Tech says there are 6 reasons to go global. Entrepreneur.com says 5 reasons. I care less how many reasons. My reason for going global is if the enterprise I'm working doesn't go global, and we'll talk about what it means by being global, by international, we're going to die. We're going to be bought. You see, the ability to help more people. There are non-profit organizations that help millions, if not billions of people around the world. But that's a small part of it. To help other people is to get the talent to help our bottom line. Learning new culture is part of, otherwise we can't go global. And we're going to talk about that. MSCA was talking about the 10 different reasons of business and strategic growth of global growth of businesses. Various factors of any international projects. Let's pause a bit. Communication, cultural values, different languages. Now we're dealing with people with over 70 different languages. Our softwares are being developed partly in US, India, being QA at China. Hardware is being developed in Singapore, shipped to Japan. How many different languages we're dealing with? Different geographical issues. Natural disasters. Imagine you're waiting for part of your hardware, let's say controller, coming from India, and they just had hurricane and flood. The part that you're waiting is going to be delayed by 3 days. Multiply that by the loss of productivity of about 2,000 people per hour rate of the talent, and you'll see the magnitude of the loss. Legal and political issues, I'm going to share some point about that. Global business environment. The way we do business here in the US is very different than the way we do business in our neighboring country, Canada, or Mexico. There are so many different factors that we need to consider when we're talking about international projects. And I emphasize, we're talking about projects that bits and bytes are done in international offices. Some regulatory issues, different intellectual property laws, patents, copyrights, trademarks, different regulatory issues, hazardous material management. US is different than, for instance, Philippines. If my project has something to do with Philippines, I have to understand what's the regulation on hazardous material in Philippines, because I'm in charge of my project. Sales and marketing restrictions and laws. 2017, EU came up with cookie, with information gathering out of websites, and if you don't abide by them, you're not going to be able to do business in the EU.
I would just add too, employment laws are different, something people need to be
Yes.
aware of, and then just the overall structure of diversity
Right.
globally and accepting.
Yes, Jim.
Other things we could add to the list include needs to localize products, not only for language, but also style.
Yes.
Things like that. Also, there are a lot of countries that have a lot of corruption going on and everything that's done through bribes. So you have to deal with those realities.
That I actually, indirectly, I have said that, the laws and regulations. And I know what you said. I had a project in Middle East, and my personal law says that I cannot bribe, period. I will not. I started looking around the mitigation. This is a risk. What to do and how to do it. Easy. Find a local vendor. Empower them. That's Agile. Empower them to do their job. All I want is the end come, the product I need from them. Case closed. I didn't deal with any legal issues in their geographical location. I didn't have to. That was part of the risk mitigation. As per HR law, IEEE STEM Meetup 10 days ago, we had a very knowledgeable lawyer at HR practice for over 28 years. I was talking about only AI and only in HR, and the number of lawsuits regarding artificial intelligence applications being used by HR of different enterprises is mind-boggling. These are just few issues. Now take that to global scale, then you would see what we're dealing with. 2002, Microsoft was sued for consulting contracting thing, and that cost them arm and leg. Right now we have AB 5, Assembly Bill 5, that was passed by California legislatures that differentiates between consultants and contractors. So there are so many different issues. Imagine if your project has deal with 20 different countries. Do you know that HR law here in California is different than Massachusetts? Dealing with this kind of issues is part of the project manager's job. Home or field advantage, as I said, I just mitigated the risk to other companies to deal with it. Lost in translation, Jim just said that. Countries in Middle East write from right to left. We write from left in some, from top to top. English is my third language. Excuse me if I stumble in my talking, but imagine if I translate from Farsi, Persian to English, word by word, that's going to be like a joke. And vice versa. We're talking about translation and localization that Jim just talked about. You buy a bicycle and you read the user manual, you misuse one of the nuts. Where does your bicycle go? And these are little issues that they seem to be little. When you're dealing with 20,000 units of the same SQ product, then that's not a small issue.